What is going on, everybody? Alfred Ezman with World Baseball Network here, joined by a very special guest. We have the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, Mark Wasikowski, with us today. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Yeah, of course. So let's start with last year. I think it was really cool to watch you guys. You're one in the Big Ten, right? Go out there and win a share of the conference regular season title. 42 wins a season ago. You were a regional host. You made the team a tournament team for the fifth straight season. You've really built a winning culture up in Eugene, and it continued last year. Talk about winning the conference regular season title in year one. What that kind of looked like, as well as just becoming a perennial tournament team as well.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you saying that you made the team. You know what? We did it. And we did it with my. I've got a great roster of players, and I've had a great roster of players, and that's a credit to my staff. I got Jack Martyr, as our hitting guy, recruiting coordinator Brett Thomas, tremendous young coach. Matt Floor. Now, and others. I've got other guys, Tim Cisnera, Dan Straley. Travis Buck. I mean, my staff is a really, really good coaching staff, and that helps a ton. And so with their help plus the donors, we were able to chip away. We've been in the regionals or super regionals and super regionals every year that I've been here, with regionals every year, and two of those years being in supers, and we haven't gotten over the hump yet to get to Omaha, but that hopefully is next, and our big goal is to win that national championship, obviously. And so a lot's there, but still, yeah, we've chipped away. We've had a lot of success. It's a ton of fun. Winning the Big Ten last year, it was awesome. First year in the conference, to be able to win the league was really, really good. And our goal is just every day, just continue to improve, and if we keep it small like that, we feel like by the end of it, then we'll probably have the things that we have on a bigger spectrum in hand, those goals. And those goals becoming in hand is just part of this thing. And when we first got in, it had been a few years that Oregon hadn't been to postseason play, and now that we've been in, it's been 5 straight years of being there, and we're enjoying the success, and we're craving even more.
Yeah, you kind of just expect it with you guys at this point. And to build on that for 2026, you talked about, you dropped name dropped Omaha national championship. What kind of, I feel like based on last year's tournament result for you guys, there's a chip, right, on your guys' shoulders for this year. Talk about, if you've seen that in the fall yet with your guys, or, what their motivation is going to be for this upcoming season.
Well, the motivation is, chip on the shoulder. I mean, yeah, I think every year there's only probably one team that doesn't have a chip on their shoulder, and then the one team that won it all last year is probably sitting around going, "Hey, let's not get complacent." So I don't know. Everybody's got the same goal in mind each and every year, and every roster is brand new. I mean, especially nowadays, you're probably going to, between the draft and other things, you're probably going to have almost a 50% roster turnover every year or close to it. And with that being the case, it's really hard to say, even talk about last year, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. A lot of the guys look at you and go, "What are you talking about, coach?" Luckily, we're not a portal school. We're a school that really has built that starting lineup from the time that these kids show up as freshmen. And so, for freshmen that want to play and get out there, I mean, first and foremost, you got to be physical, you got to be really good. But at Oregon, we've done it through freshmen and not really many portal guys, a couple of guys here and there to be able to help us out for draft losses. But other than that, it's been high school players. And so this group's goal is literally, like I said, is to crush today, win today. And then by the end of it, yeah, there's a stair-stepping approach with smaller goals incrementally throughout the course of the year, which is at the end of this thing, it's a national championship. That's the last goal on the grid, but there's a lot of them in between.
Coach, here in the early stretches of fall practices and stuff, who are some players that have caught your eye, if any, or if just, none have caught your eye really because it's so early? What are some things you're focusing on within the game of baseball with them?
Well, we're focusing on playing good baseball, right? We're focusing on teaching good baseball, and that's really all we're looking for on the field, is guys that will show the ability to play good, solid baseball, which means putting the ball in play with 2 strikes, even though I know it's might not be cool anymore watching some of the playoffs and stuff, but it seems like the teams that play the hardest still win the game with the talent, right? Once you have talent and they get aligned and they play together and they play to win and they play hard, I think those are the last two teams that are in the playoffs right now, playing for the World Series. And so, that's one of our goals. The second part of our goal right now is really developing these players during our fall segment. But we don't look at fall baseball as just kind of, fall ball, or summer baseball as summer ball. It's just another day and an opportunity to improve. And just because it happens during the fall on the calendar, it doesn't change whether it happened now or whether it's March or January or at any other month. It's just another day to improve and get better. Guys that have jumped off the page. I mean, we've got a kid named Cal Scolari in the program. He's got a tremendous arm. A kid named Will Sanford in our program. He's got a tremendous arm. There's so many others. It seems like the pitching has probably taken a step up in the right direction from last year when we had good pitching. And yet it looks like there's a lot more options this year on the mound. And then probably one of the loudest performers in the field right now are probably Dominic Hellman and Drew Smith, two returners, fourth-year players. Both are experienced players that have been postseason play now 3 years in a row, and two of those have been super regionals. And so these guys are really, really good. And I would think, yeah, there's a little extra on them because this is their last year of eligibility and sitting around probably going, hey, I want to get to the College World Series. I'd really like to get to Omaha and play in the College World Series. And have a chance to win that thing. And so I know they're hungry for that.
Yeah, and that would be a great goal for you guys, right? This is a program that is itching to go back to Omaha, I feel like, on a trajectory to do so, certainly. So that would be something, a goal y'all would have in mind. Before that, though, during the season, you guys are going to the Las Vegas Baseball Classic. I love these tournaments kind of at the beginning of the year just because it pins up, right, some non-conference opponents you wouldn't normally see play who are very good. And you guys have that with Arizona, who although might be a little familiar with the Pac-12 history. Vanderbilt's going there also, just a great program. And then UC Irvine, like a very good mid-major out west. Talk about that field of teams. I mean, I know, again, it's early, but do you have any thoughts on that event and what it's going to look like?
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts on that event. I think it's the best tournament in the country that week. It's really good. Ben Orloff is a tremendous coach down at UCI. His program's been rolling. For them to jump into the College World Series, in the next couple of years, I think would be a really a good, very safe prediction. He's that good of a coach and his program's that good. Arizona, yeah, I'm very familiar with Arizona. Having coached there for 10 years. Yeah, haven't seen Arizona just recently this last year. They won a regional in Eugene last year. And so I don't know how well that's set with a lot of guys in our locker room right now. And then, of course, you look at Vanderbilt. The last time that we saw Vanderbilt was at their regional, or I'm sorry, their regional at Vanderbilt, and we won that regional. So I don't think that they're probably sending us a Christmas card this year, saying, hey, we really hope you're doing well. I think they're really itching to see us again on a field because the last time they saw us on their field at the Vanderbilt regional, we ended up winning that regional to advance to the Super. So a little salt in the wound is kind of the theme, I guess, on that tournament because there's some teams with some serious salt in the wounds that, that's going to be competitive. There's been some great games with those teams already historically, and now we get to toe it up, at the beginning of this coming season. I know a lot of us have different reasons why that's going to be a really fun tournament.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us today, man. We really appreciate it. You have built Oregon up to really just, like I said, a perennial tournament team, a team who's always going to be there at the end of the year competing for a national championship, and we expect nothing different in 2026. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Go Ducks.
Yes, sir. Go Ducks. Well, everybody, from Alfred Ezman, you've been watching this presentation from World Baseball Network. Thank you for watching.